Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So today we're going to be doing something totally unique, totally different. I'm going to first start off with the masterboard. You guys know how to make a masterboard. I've done it with you 1,000 times before, and it's basically just layering paper on top of a larger sheet of paper and then cutting up that paper to make something else. So I may just, fast forward you guys through the masterboard process, but I want to make like the most easiest junk journal ever. This will just be the cover, and then you can stuff the papers whichever kind of paper you want inside of the journal after that. But yeah, it's going to be a fun little project. I just have some leftover pieces of paper from previous projects that I want to use up in this masterboard. So there'll be some of that, and then just some strips of scraps that I saved here since I've been here working on various projects. So there's some of this and some more of that, and yeah, let's just play with paper, guys. Like, why not? Like, what else are we gonna do today, right? It's just a stress-free Saturday, so let's just do some fun stuff with playing with some scrap paper and whatnot. So I'm gonna move these out of the way. Let's see, I will start off with layering like some of that, maybe that, and I will definitely tear it off where it needs to be to continue one full strip. So yeah, I'll place that there, some of this here, and we'll just layer the paper onto this page right here. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm using glue stick for this, and then I will Mod Podge on top of it just to make sure. If I feel like it needs to be inked, I will ink it along the way. Like some of these have some pretty white edges on here, so I will just ink along the way as I go. And yeah, we'll just make ourselves a really large masterboard in order to create a really cool junk journal cover. All right, stay with me. I promise this will get really good. So at this step, you want to look at your board and see where you can improve some of the patterns. What I did was I added some more newspaper and other little pieces in areas that I thought were just too repetitive or too, you know, just needed something extra, right? And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and mix my Mod Podge and water together. This just creates like a more liquidy glue, and I'm gonna apply that over the entire project, okay? After that, we're gonna let it dry, and we're gonna work on our signatures. Alright, so now my Mod Podge masterboard is drying. It has about 2 or 3 coats on it right now. I'll probably add a 4th coat just for the sake of using up the rest of that Mod Podge. But let's talk about signatures. Okay, so for this project we're going to need 5 signatures. I think that's what I'm going to put in here. I'm going to use a combination of decorative paper as well as useful paper that you can actually journal on. And yeah, so this is what I've done so far. So I've pulled out a lot of sheets of paper that I want to use in this project, and I'm just going to fold them in half, right? Because that's basically what a signature is made up of. And then we will either staple them together, or I don't know, 3-hole pamphlet stitch them together, or there's a various number of ways that you can put together a signature. But I think I'm going to 3-hole pamphlet stitch this to make this like one of my official books. And yeah, so I'm just stacking pages on top of pages here to create a signature. And we don't know exactly how large our journal is going to be quite yet. We have to figure that out along with the cutting and the sizing of the masterboard, right, to make the cover. So here are some just decorative pages. These are just a piece of doily, paper doily, and some some book page that I stenciled over. So this will be just one of the signatures that goes into the journal, and we will cut it to size once we figure out what size the journal is going to be based on the masterboard cover. So this is just one of the signatures. Here is another. Okay, both of these have, all of these have the same number of pages in it, and you just saw me stack them together and create the signature just then. So this is basically what the book is going to consist of, just random pages. A lot of them you can use, some of them are just decorative, like I said, but each signature needs a jacket, like a cover. So I'm going to create covers for each one of those signatures using coordinating paper from this paper pack right here. So as you know, the masterboard has some of this paper on it, just scraps, you know, from a previous project. So I'm going to pick out some of these matching sheets in here to create the jackets for each signature. And that's how I ended up with these pieces right here, right? So I might have to make another masterboard only because I don't want to accumulate scraps here in my rig, because you know, it's a small space. So I'm just gonna pull out some random sheets that are coordinating with the masterboard cover to make little covers for those signatures, right? These signatures right there. Okay, so just bear with me while I rip out some of these sheets here. And let's see, what other page? I guess I can use one of these. I think this has been replicated on the master board as well. And one more would be fun. Let's see. Oh, I can use this one for sure. Yeah, let's just use this one. Okay. So I think I have 5. Let me just make sure. I think I only pulled out 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to grab another sheet from this pack to make a 5th cover. Or let's see. I don't think I'll be able to get 2 out of 1. It would be great if I did, but I don't think I will. We never know. Let's try it. Alright, so here we have these 4 sheets. I want to go with the green next, so it'll more than likely be this one. Okay, so this right here just kind of like ties the entire project together. Considering the masterboard is so busy, I kind of wanted these covers to match the masterboard, so to speak, so I'm just using the same paper pack from where I had the scrap pieces. Okay, so let's clean that up. I am going to sort these. Let's see, I'll put the green in the center. So this would be the center cover, the center signature cover. And I'm just going to, let's see, if I fold this in half, this is a 12 by 12 sheet, just barely. Okay, and we do know we need to cut some of this down because some of that paper is a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. So I'll just fold this in half to create my covers. And what you want to do when you fold it in half, you want the white side showing and the decorative side on the inside. Okay, so this will be seen and this will not. Alright, let's do another one, folding it in half. And I'll just cut them to size later to match or to fit the book. Again, we're not sure what size the book is going to be as yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be 8.5 by 11. So I'm sorry if you hear my generator revving. I am in my camper out here in Arizona still, and right now my ice machine is going, so I'm making some ice. Oh, that's so pretty, that pink and green together. Yeah, love it. Alright, and then we will do this one. It's more like a terracotta color with this green one. And we'll do this mustard color with the last signature, the brown. Okay. Alright. So now we have our signatures and our signature covers. Like I said, I think this book is going to be about 8.5 by 11. Sorry, not 8.5 by 11. I'm using the 8.5 by 11 size paper in here. This one, or even this one. This is 8.5 by 11 as well. And I'm going to cut everything down to match that. This way we are making a 9 by 6 book, just like I always make. All of my books are usually 9 by 6. What we want to do is get everything nice and centered and figure out exactly where you want everything to be placed in the jackets, the signature covers, and then you know, just get everything centered up really nice and evenly, and then we will trim away the rest to make this a 9 by 6 book. Okay, I don't want to mix up my signatures because I like the setup that I have here with this pink and green one, and I definitely want this one in the center. Let's see, and it's not in the center right now, so let's move it over to the center. Okay, so yeah, my book has 5 signatures total. And we'll go ahead and set this up to be chopped down into 9 by 6. Okay, so we've stitched up our signatures with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. The next couple of steps are going to go by really quickly. You don't have to have this if you don't have athletic tape. This is what I'm using. It's $1.25 at the dollar store. So yeah, I'm just going to tape down. It's kind of like a fabric tape. It's called athletic tapes. But I'm just going to tape down my little ends here from the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. This is the thread that's left over to make the double knot in the middle, and this will never be seen in the project, so don't worry about it. It doesn't matter how long or how short you cut it, just make sure that you are covering up these 2 little ends that stick out. So with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, as you know, if you start on the inside, if you start on the here in the inside in the middle, you're going to end here in the middle. I want mine to start and finish on the outside, so that's what I did. I started on the outside, ended on the outside. So I'm just going to tape down these little pieces of ends of my wax cord or wax thread, whatever you use to stitch yours together. You can use embroidery floss, you know, whatever you have. Just do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch with it. And you guys have seen me do that 3-hole stitch a billion times. I don't know, maybe, I want to say maybe 1,000 times, but maybe not. Yeah, I'm just gonna tear it because, like I said, you'll never ever see this in the project. And I'll show you why in just a moment. Now again, I don't want to get my signatures mixed up, so I'm going to set them down in a particular order. I like the order in which I had them, so I'm just going to try to keep track of that a little bit. So I included the jackets, like this decorative page with each signature. Because it's all going to come together in just a moment. I'll show you guys what I mean. So here, let me just finish sticking these little pieces down together. And if it's too long, feel free to cut whatever. It's like, you know, excess. But you do want enough on there so that the thread or the cord or the embroidery floss or whatever you use to stitch it together does not come undone. So that's why I'm taping these down. After this step, I should check on my masterboard, but I won't. After this step, we're going to assemble the signatures together. So basically all you're going to need for that is just some glue stick, or you can use a wet glue if that's all you have, but glue stick is probably preferred. And it'll hold your pages together better, I believe. So let me just stick down this last one and cut off this excess right here. Okay, so that's that. These are our signatures all bounded together nice and neatly. I did have to cut it down. I may still cut it down on this side yet, I'm not sure, but let's just go with this for now. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Just be an oversized journal, just a little bit bigger than the norm. And I think that my masterboard is big enough to make a full cover for this. So let's just go with this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, guys. Like, it's just paper, right? We'll just start over. I have done this before, just not on camera. So anyway, here's my glue stick. I'm using my Scotch glue stick here, permanent glue, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue to the outside cover of my last signature, using that imaginary line right there, staying away from the edges, like the edge here about 1 inch in, and I'm just applying glue everywhere. Then I'm going to take my second to last signature, I'm going to butt these two up against each other, and I'm going to match them up here at the corners and the edges. But for some reason it does not want to. Hold on, let's try it again. Okay, it's because of my positioning of my camera. I can't see over here, so I don't know if it's doing it or not. Let me just move it over this way a little bit. This should be fairly easy, and I'm making it way more difficult than it needs to be. And I'm sorry, guys, like, my camera is not in its normal position in my craft room. It's just slightly off on an arm, and that's why I'm having such a difficult time seeing. But this will have to do for now. I guess this is like the closest I'll be able to get these two sheets stuck together. And we'll do the same thing for the next sheets. So again, here's my imaginary line. And I'm just gonna apply this glue all over. Yeah, I'm telling you, the positioning of the camera makes a world of difference. And because I mean, I was planning on crafting on my trip out here, but I didn't bring the proper camera gear, so that's my dilemma. That's my fault. So this is where we are right now. And again, just line these two edges up right there and right there, and then press it together. See, that one worked out a whole lot easier. I don't know why. And when it does, I don't ask questions. I just go with it. All right, you want to make sure that your pages, your signatures are even. Then we'll do the same for the next two signatures. Again, using that imaginary line, not to go past there to get glue anywhere near the edge of the page. And again, you want to make sure that your signatures line up top and bottom, and here end to edge, edge to edge, right there. Perfect. Okay, and we'll do the last signature, which is actually the first signature. Okay. And again, this is just regular permanent glue stick. It's no secret, there's no magic, it's just Scotch permanent glue. Okay, so last one, we're going to line these up edge to edge, and then up here edge to edge. Close enough, fold it down, and there we have that. Alright, now the reason why we didn't go to the end here, when we put our cover on, our journal cover, this book will be able to lay flat like so in any position. Okay, there will be no bulkiness. All of this right here keeps the book from bulking, and it also gets everything to lay flat. Once you open the journal, all the pages will lay flat, and it's very much more like a book and a lot easier to journal in. Okay, so that's why we did it this way. Now our next step is to find some coordinating fabric to go with both our cover and perhaps these covers on the inside here. So what I have here is just some paisley flat fabric that it has the shades that the masterboard has, as well as some of these covers in here. And I'm just going to apply this with some Fabri-Tac along the edge to create my spine. Alright, this right here is now going to become the spine for the book, and I just want to make sure that it's even on both sides, so in the front and on the back. And we're just going to glue this down with some Fabri-Tac. Okay, so here we go. This time we are going to the edge on the front, come in about a ½ inch, you're going to push on your book just a little bit to get those signatures all together nice and flat and even, and you're going to repeat the same step on the back. You're never going to put any glue here on any of these spines. Okay, this is the one section that gets glued. This is the only thing that's holding together this spine is this glue, and you don't want any glue on any of the other signatures in the book. So that's Fabri-Tac I'm using. If you have Fabri-Fix, if you have Eileen's tacky glue, use it. But you do want to give your book just a little bit of a push. Just push it down so that you don't have droopy, saggy fabric in the corners of your book. And I could show you guys what that would look like. Let's say you don't push on it, you'll have like a droopy, saggy corner right here. Mine is nice and tight on both sides, right? So that's what you don't want to happen. That's why you push it down right there. Okay, so let's see, this is my front cover. There's the middle. Okay, so this is the back. This is my front cover. Okay, the middle, I know the middle because the heart is facing up, you know, up, right side up, and the rest of these are what they are. Okay, no, non-directional. All right, so now we have ourselves a book, 5 signatures, and a spine. The book lays flat. The only thing we have to do now is work on our actual cover for the book. So I'm gonna go grab my masterboard, and we are going to do some cutting to make it fit this book, as opposed to making the pages fit the cover. We're going to make the cover fit the book. 2 ticks, I'll be back. Alright guys, this video has gotten too long. It's like really long right now, so what I'll probably do is just split this up into 2 sections, and what we'll do this week is do the signatures and the masterboard, and next week we'll do the covers and some of the decorations that go on it. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys like right here. So far, this is what we've done to our 5 signature journal. We've added our spine, okay, and these are the signatures that are in here. Next week we're going to take our masterboard and we're going to cut it to size to fit the book, as opposed to fitting the book to the cover. You know what I mean? We're going to make our cover fit this book based on the size that it currently is. All right, and then we'll do some decorating and finish this project up. All right, so I hope you guys have a smashing day. Go do something wonderful, stay naturally curious, and I will definitely talk to you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.